Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Gemini October 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for some of you over the course of the last month, haven't I? You know who you are, from different countries, and if you might be interested, that's over FaceTime and Skype, and if you might be interested to see what's involved, have a look at the description. Now, separately to that, I've also done a number of healings for people over the last month as well. Now, I charge for clairvoyant readings for that spiritual gift. The other spiritual gift I was given at birth was that of healing, but my sole contract is that I must not get anything in return for the process of healing. Makes sense, I guess. Anyway, it is what it is, and so healings are offered for free. No obligation, no strings attached. You won't be sold or recommended anything. So if you or someone you know might be interested to have a healing, it takes about 15 minutes, I think, or 10 minutes, then just contact me in accordance with the instructions in the description below. But now, let's get your cards, shall we? Great to see the subscribers, as always. I'd love to see you. Thank you for having me in your home. And let's see what's going on here. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you can enjoy it all. There's the Nine of Cups. Here is Temperance. Here is, what would that be? The Five of Coins or Pentacles, I suppose. There's no titles on these. I'm just going by what the image is doing. There is the High Priestess. And finally, what is there here? There is the Page of Pentacles. Probably one of my favorite cards. Now, why don't you come sit down here next to me? You and I will have a look at the art on these cards together, interpret the spiritual energy in accordance with what's going on, while I do the reading for you. Okay, well, let's have a look at this first card, which is that of the High Priestess, the Princess of the Silver Star. Now, let's have a look. What have we got happening here in this painting? Well, she sits before a partially veiled garden, by the looks of it. There's a curtain hanging between a couple of pillars, which is one sort of darker than the other, and which sort of suggests that she is the keeper of the hidden mysteries and may yet show you. Now, there's a path leading back to that garden, and it's sort of daring you to follow it, isn't it? And sitting in front of the path, she reminds you that the guardian of the sacred, the keeper of the magic, is who she is. Now, in her right hand, she holds a pomegranate, which is the symbol of abundance, fertility, and divine feminine. Now, the pomegranate, you probably recall, is to do with that myth of Persephone and her journey in the underworld. And like the moon, hidden, but always present. Now, her number is 2, which is the most intuitive of the numbers, divine and sacred, based on the blessed light of the moon. Now, this is a time, I think, when you will have access, very good access to your intuitive powers, I think, and there's a period here of you healing and getting better. There'll be a great desire for you to have independence, and there's increased self-confidence, I'm pleased to say, because there's an issue here which needs to be dealt with in that card, which we'll turn to next. And this is pushing on here, and it's increasing your self-confidence. Now, I think you'll be in this period also discovering your own truth, and there's a degree of emotional stability around you. Now, she is in touch with her intuitive abilities and can trust them completely. Now, she perceives and is connected with her own inner voice, the internal guide and healer. And this shows outwardly in her trust in and responsibility to herself. Now, you know the camel, that animal? which travels long stretches in the desert without water? Well, when you have discovered your own inner spring, you will radiate a satisfied sense of sufficiency. You will find the fertile oasis in the innermost reaches of your being. And the more you accept yourself and share with others, the deeper the clarity of your perceptions will become. I also think that what this is suggesting to me is that you will be unlimited to restrict or to limit yourself from what it is that you have in mind to do. This is a very creative cycle for you, and you're becoming aware of intuition as a gift. Now, this can also represent a platonic friendship which is deepening or which is about to come about. And I think there's a period of alone time, just as she's sitting alone in front of that garden, to work out what you really want and to let your mind process things. Now, changes on the inside are necessary to make changes on the outside. You understand that, don't you? And there is a need here, I think, for you to connect and be more confident with your intuitive or feminine side, and that applies whether you're a man or a woman. This is a time of kind of going with the flow of life and keeping things in balance, but I'm also getting pregnancy and marriage around here, so you're going to hear about that. I think that what's going on now is that you do have great access to your intuitive powers, so develop them and guard your independence. Now, are there areas in your life in which you allow others to influence you rather than trusting your own intuition? Now, if you're able to seek out water, do that as often as you can and just sit and look at it, watch it and learn from it as much as you can. And say this to yourself: I deeply honor and value the human being that I am. I am intuitive and perceptive. I trust myself and honor my sense of integrity, and I trust my intuitive abilities. We then turn to what is in this central card here, because this is what everybody else here is talking about. And it's this energy, which is represented by the Five of Coins or Pentacles, whatever one might call them, I suppose. Now, what am I to get from this? Well, I'm getting the astrology of Mercury, ruling the first decan of Taurus. Now, the speed and the fluidity of Mercury is weighed down by slow, heavy Taurus. Taurus is the fixed sign of Earth. Mercury is about intellect and communication and things like this. So what I'm getting around here is a sort of a pessimism, a worry about you, worrying about things. And this worry is coming. Look, it takes a very strong Mercury to dislodge Taurus. So what I'm getting the feeling here is that Taurus is not dislodged, but rather what is going on is that there's some inaction, that you're worrying about things. And not only that you are worrying about things, but I think that this has been going on for some time and you haven't dealt with it. You might be thinking to yourself, am I getting myself into a situation I may not be able to get out of? Will events overwhelm me? Well, worry, of course, is about past and future. It's about the past. And neither can we do anything about. Well, when I say we can't do anything about it, let's do something about it. You know, sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. Now, there's a good chance that all you've ever been told or made to feel in your life so far is that you can't do anything. That every time you even dared to dream that your life could be better, you were shot down or laughed at, made to feel small, made to feel useless, made to feel like an idiot for even thinking you could be more. Now, all of us, just as we thought something was in reach, have had a massive shadow of doubt thrown on us, normally by someone close to us. And it hurts, doesn't it? And it finds its way into our subconscious. And what your brain does is that your brain then thinks of the pain to get what you want, and your brain avoids it, and instead you worry. Now, one of the ways to deal with worry is to live in the present, and also it's to let go of the past and the things that people have said or the expectations that you had because of the way things have gone in the past or because of what people have said and done. In a sense, it's to forgive the past. In a sense, it's to forgive those people. It's to cut them. It's as if you are in a boat and a period happens where things have gone against you and you've dropped an anchor. And as you've tried to sail forward, you've found that your line is stretched. And what you say now is that I can't go any further because there's no forward motion. And it can cause you to worry and even to shed tears. Well, there's no shame in that because tears water the gardens of your heart. But it's about forgiving the past and forgiving people in order to avoid worry as well. Forgiveness. Now, people say forgiveness is difficult. Well, this is the approach that I take. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Now, I know you may think that forgiveness means accepting what has happened to you. Well, it's not that. Rather, it is accepting that it has happened to you. Not accepting that it was okay for it to happen, that it should have happened, that those people should have said those things to you. It is accepting that it has happened. And now, what am I going to do about it? Forgiveness, in a sense, is giving up the hope, not holding on to the hoping and wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was, giving up the hope that the past could be any different. And when you get that, it will take you to the next level of being a more complete person, because you don't hold grudges for anything or any situation. And when you let go, the past does not hold you in a prison cell, and it doesn't hold you hostage to life. Now, because this card has turned up in the center where it is here now, I think what it is saying is that you are now ready to look at your situation as it is. You have the opportunity to free yourself by initiating the necessary discussions either with yourself or with others. And only clear, open communications, that's the Mercury aspect, will help this to come along. Now, I'm not selling religion, but I do know that there is a book in the old Hebrew Bible or the Christian Old Testament called the Book of Psalms. And I'm pretty sure it's Psalm 95, verse 6, which says, "Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before the Lord our Maker." As I say, I'm not selling religion, but I do know that meditating on that verse, it will scatter negative energy and stress, and the purifying light will banish unseen, ominous forces, especially those dwelling inside you. So in what areas or situations are you not clear and decisive enough? With which people do you need to clarify things? Say this to yourself: I am ready to look at my life as it is and trust in the process of resolving my fears. I am straightening out my life. And then what is kind of on that theme of recovery and healing is this card here, which is Temperance. Major Arcana number 14. Now, what's this? What's going on here? Well, a winged figure, which is neither masculine nor feminine by the looks of it, or is actually both masculine and feminine. It stands on top of or at a rocky shore. Now, one foot is on the rock and the other is in the water there, and which is the subconscious, is what I'm getting from that. And that forgiveness process will free your subconscious. Now, in each hand, there is poured from a vessel one silver and gold, the water that's going on there. Now, an unbroken stream which is going down there which represents the connection between the conscious and the subconscious for you, is what I think here. And this mountaintop in the difference. indicates that this is a spiritual journey that you are going on, as we all are actually. This golden crown, I think, at the top here, speaks of an enlightenment or an understanding of this. And I don't know if you can make it out, but she's got or he or she has a silver disc on their forehead, which I think kind of means third eye or enlightenment. Now, looking at this, which could very well be an angel in a sense, I suppose, couldn't it? It pours from the silver cup of the moon, or the feminine and subconscious energies, into the golden cup of the sun, the masculine and conscious energies. And back and forth, this radiant liquid is being mixed between the cups, setting on fire, lighting up your life force and imagination. And this magical liquid becomes transformative, a drink of love that unites opposites and brings inspiration and ideas into action. Now, this number 14, for here, numerologically, that's the number of mental foundation, imagination, and will. It's also the number of the awakened, well, there's a spiritual side to it as well. But what I'm saying here is that this temperance is melting away conflict. Its magical elixir blends and balances energies, bringing rebirth to you. And in this process, you begin to integrate the spiritual and the material worlds of the conscious and subconscious self. But there's also something more to it than that, and it's talking about the unification of opposites. There's a balance here within you and an inner change, a transformation. I think you're making a quantum leap out of what things concerned you into a time when you're going to be very creative. And now what you are doing is you are taking action based on a sensible look at what's going on around you and all the circumstances. And I think, in fact, that this is speaking of you getting a success after what has been a lot of aggravation. In a sense, it's an escape. You are freed from what was holding you back. Now, be patient and let things evolve at their own natural pace. You don't need to force anything. And look at yourself, do some self-evaluation and self-examination, and just work out to see what your actual priorities are. Just focus your energies. Don't scatter them. Keep them focused. And work in harmony. Well, this is saying that you will, I think, work in harmony from a place of stability and strength, which is in you. Do you know you have the diamond residing within you, the diamond of the divine. And this is asking you to look inward. Now, to find that diamond, you must look within. Now, what does it mean for you to find your hidden diamond? Close your eyes and visualize a fountain of energy in your body. Bathe a while in this rejuvenating current and say to yourself, I equally value the light and dark within my own nature. I am a well-integrated person. I surrender to the transforming powers of the divine. I am an open channel for creative energy, and money and spirituality are not inconsistent with each other. Now, sitting underneath that card is this card here, and the people around you that I think are going to be important are, let's have a look, Taurus, Gemini, obviously. What else am I getting? Getting Aries around it as well. Yeah. So let's have a look at this, shall we? And here is this page of Pentacles. Look, this is a messenger of good news. She's indicating the beginning of a new opportunity, a project, work, or a solid relationship. She's talking to me of things starting to take form, opportunities opening up for earning money and financial support. And she can symbolize the apprentice or student learning new ideas or skills. She brings a very creative time that can be expanded into new insights and horizons. I have to say, again, I am getting pregnancy or the birth of new projects. Children are important at this time. New ideas. In relationships, I think she brings a romantic partnership that has matured, or she's bringing something of an engagement or a proposal. That's a time to appreciate the environment. And she's saying to quiet yourself by being in nature and just listening to it. And she brings peace, healing, and balance. Now, this is a time, I think, when you will be beautiful, or handsome, as the case may be, and strong, pregnant with life, generous, kind, and benevolent. I think that what we also see here is very much this sense of renewal and things coming about from nothing that you have created. This is a time when you will be following your will or true purpose in life. So this is about getting in touch with that most important aspect and protecting it. I think that, as I say, this is a pregnancy very much around here. It's a very productive time after what may have been a barren stretch. And I think what we have here is something that's very good for people who are involved in domestic activities as well. Look, something new is entering into your life, so prepare yourself. What must you do to be ready for something to come into your life? Say this to yourself: I am now ready for the new beauty in my life. And then I think finally we go, and I think it is finally, isn't it? Yes, to this Nine of Cups. Hello, Nine of Cups. Well, the astrology being in that first card that you drew and in its arrangement with the other cards here makes it Jupiter in the second decan of Pisces. Now, Jupiter rules Pisces, so this is a very strong energy, and it's a happy energy. And Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with Pisces spirituality. Jupiter also brings you good luck and happiness. And Jupiter's softer concerns, such as care, compassion, and the spiritual life, they are beautifully expressed through sensitive Pisces. There's an enormous capacity to love, although, as is so often the case with this gift, this is often hard won through lots of difficult times in the past. Nevertheless, there is here bliss, overflowing love, deep joy, blessings. Now, because this 9 has, and in conjunction with these other cards, entered in the way that it has, it blesses your path. Good fortune, happiness, well-being, security, a sense of prosperity, and emotional and material success are yours. Now, on a deeper level, you are experiencing the inner wealth of true self-love, discovering your grail within, your diamond within. Your heart chakra is opening and radiating out unconditional love from the divine, showering boundless love that is streaming magically on everything you create. Now, the key to this energy is living and practicing the universal law of giving and receiving. The gift is boundless love and an abundance. Now, this, with the good fortune and divine love of the 9 of Cups, you're completing a cycle of deep understanding, healing, and transformation. You're on the threshold to a new stage of development. And this is offering you an opportunity to share your wisdom and happiness with others. Now, what you wish for, because this is often called the wish card, what you wish for will determine your new path. You've all heard the saying that, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Well, this speaks of responsible wishing. Take time to quiet yourself and ask yourself, or wishing for things, understand how it might impact you and those around you. Now you are being supported by the divine to create something new and beautiful, whether it be a personal wish or a wish that is more expansive. The universe is, in a sense, lining up to grant it. You understand that you are the mother of your creations, giving birth to the sacred divine. This is a time to work with your creative, magical spirit, letting your dream and your soul purpose blossom. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards for you. Well done, you.
I've got to say, I loved spending that time with you. I really did, and what a great month it looks like it's going to be for you. A few ups, a few downs, but very much on the positive side altogether, I think. That's what's going on with you, and don't you deserve it? I think you do. It really is time for you to have some good times, aren't it? Now look, if you did enjoy the reading, would you do me this favor, and it's all I ask, that on the way out, please hit the like button, or do it now if you would. It's good for the computer or YouTube, whatever it may be. And unless you contact me privately, I'll see you again next month. And until then, remember one thing though, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.